Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ashikin binti Roslan and my student ID is 2020-48-8616, and today I'm going to present about BIO150 case study report, lactic acid related to muscle cramps. Number 1. Introduction. What is lactic acid? Number 2. Problem statement. What happens when our body contains lactic acid? Number 3. Content. Answering question 1 to 5. Number 4. Conclusion. How to prevent overproduction of lactic acid. Introduction. Lactic acid, or also can be called as lactate, could also be one of a chemical byproduct from anaerobic respiration, which is a method which energy for the cells are being produced without using oxygen. Lactic acid is present in human blood where it is deposited by muscle and red blood cells. Lactic acid is a harmless and constant present that exists in human bodies. When we exercise, lactic acid concentration can increase, but worry not that lactic acid can return to its normal level as soon as we are resting. Lactic acid can also be recycled back to energy so that our body can use it later. Whitcomb 2020. When we perform numerous exercises, we will be started to breathe faster because we tend to shuttle more oxygen for our muscle to work. The body prefers to get most of its energy using aerobic methods. Some circumstances such as lifting heavy weights require energy production faster than our body can adequately deliver oxygen. In this case, the working muscle generate energy anaerobically. This energy comes from glucose through a process called glycolysis, during which glucose is weakened or metabolized into a substance called pyruvate through a series of steps. Road 2016. When the body has many oxygens, pyruvate is shuttled to an aerobic pathway to be further weakened for more energy. But when oxygen is restricted, the body temporarily converts pyruvate into a substance called lactic acid, which allows glucose breakdown, and thus energy production continues. The working muscle cell can continue this sort of anaerobic energy production at high rate. When working out, it's important to avoid overexerting. It's a common thing to feel a burning in our leg after we squatting with some heavy weights or completing a tense workout. Lactic acid buildup due to exercise is usually temporary and not cause for a lot of concern, but it can affect the workout activity by causing discomfort. When lactic acid buildup, lactic acid itself can make your muscle feel fatigued or slightly sore. Other symptoms may include nausea, vomiting, weakness, muscle soreness, burning sensation in the muscles, rapid breathing, shortness of breath, cramps, numbness, tingling, or even yellowing on your skin of eye. If the symptoms are severe or persist, it may be a sign of lactic acidosis. This condition can become serious. See the doctor if it is suspected to be lactic acidosis. Problem statement. Lactic acid is a byproduct of anaerobic metabolism in which the body produces energy without using oxygen. When the body taps into anaerobic metabolism, it uses the body's supplies of stored sugars known as glycogen. Lactic acid, also known as lactate, is actually an important fuel source for muscles, and that the accumulation of lactate does not inhibit the ability of skeletal muscle to contract. Content. Answering questions. Question number 1. Where does lactic acid come from during vigorous exercise? During intense exercise, our body's oxygen level drops. When we perform an exercise and exert our muscles, lactic acid will form. Our breathing will become faster. This intense situation will make our body require more energy and oxygen for our muscle to start working. With the presence of lactic acid fermentation, it can provide a way to get ATP without oxygen. The process will rely on our stored energy sources such as sugar, which can be broken down to make simple molecules and energy. By breaking sugar down, we will get tons of energy that can help us to complete any exercises. These fast changes of an increase in an energy production creates an inadequate supply of oxygen, therefore creating lactic acid. Stephen 2006. What is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? In aerobic respiration, it requires oxygen, but in anaerobic respiration, it doesn't require oxygen. Aerobic respiration creates more energy than anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration produces carbon dioxide and water, while anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid. Aerobic respiration can be found in cytoplasm and mitochondria, while anaerobic respiration can only be found in cytoplasm. What is the final acceptor in anaerobic respiration? The answer is oxygen. During oxidative phosphorylation, ATP is produced in the mitochondria, which is a part of aerobic respiration. The electron transport chain plays a crucial role during this process. The electrons move through a series of electron donors and carriers that cause the formation of a possible gradient. This gradient helps in ATP synthesis. During the process, oxygen is reduced by the hydrogen from NADH and it finally accepts the electron within the chain. Thus, it's the terminal electron acceptor that leads to the formation of water molecules. Why is lactic acid formed even when the athlete is breathing oxygen? Lactic acid formed by the body breaking down glucose or even glycogen. Lactic acid also can be formed by the reduction of pyruvate. Lactic acid fermentation converts pyruvate to lactic acid and regenerates NAD+ from NADHL. Does gender and body size affect accumulation of lactic acid? Why or why not? It is said that the buildup of lactic acid doesn't rely on gender and body size, but on the intensity or amount of exercise completed. But the study demonstrated by Biology Sports states that female and male soccer players have different endurance characteristics by testing the soccer players to do the same exercises together. The result they have gained revealed the gender differences of 11.3% for male and 31.6% for female in incremental and interval shuttle running tests. During the incremental testing, the running performance of female and male players reflect different distribution of aerobic and anaerobic metabolic pathways. Gender differences increase when the running performance is intermittent and non-linear. Hope 2014. Conclusion. In order to reduce the production of lactic acid, we can take more breaks if we are doing a high-intensity workout. Taking break can help oxygen return to our muscles and break up lactic acid buildup. This will release some of the pain we might be experiencing. Don't ever forget to drink plenty of water to keep the body hydrated during exercise so it can give the best chance of breaking down any excess of lactic acid. The body will start to produce lactic acid when it is low in the oxygen and will necessarily convert glucose into energy for our body. Breathing deeply will also help deliver oxygen to the muscles and slow the production of lactic acid. Other than that, we can reduce our exercise intensity to slow down the production of lactic acid. This proves that our aerobic strength is a huge factor in the exercise performance. Increasing our aerobic fitness will allow us to sustainably increase how far we can go. Lastly, do not forget to stretch before and after a workout. Lightly stretching the muscles after a workout can help to alleviate any burning sensation or cramps that lactic acid buildup may cause, while stretching before workout can increase blood flow to prepare our muscle for intense exercise. Keep in mind that it is important to make sure we are doing the right kind of stretches before and after workout. Lactic acid production is a normal response to high-intensity exercise. Although working out can be sometimes uncomfortable, it shouldn't be painful. If there are some experiences of intense burning from lactic acid buildup, please take a break or change up the exercise routine so that it doesn't burden the muscles or the body. Our body each has its own limit. As the owner of our own body, we must know our body, what it needs, what it doesn't, what it is capable of and not. Always listen to our body. If there are intense changes in our body, we must know and feel it. If something turns out to be wrong in our body, we should leave it. Our body needs time to process new intense workouts. Our mind needs time to identify and cope with it. Be patient when doing exercise and never expect instant results. Never give up when trying new exercises. That's the end. Thank you.